name is Kate. I'm an interior designer. I have been in this field for the last 10 years. The last 6 years I spent in Oman. I worked for the company before, but for the last 3 years I'm running my own design firm, which is called Kerdi Interiors. And I'm hopefully planning on opening my office very soon here in Muscat. A creative person. Since I was 5, I was dancing. I was a dancing teacher for a while as well. I used to do a lot of photography when I had time to do that. Like any of my hobbies, they were mostly something about creativity.
That's good.
So once I came to design field 10 years ago, well, almost 11 now, I felt like this is something I really like to do, and I started to learn about it myself. I started to work. I started to watch videos, read books. Then I got my first job, and
So
then
like
I actually
you had that thing in you from the very starting. So
yes, probably. And I actually did go to university for the design degree, but then once I completed 1 year, I just felt like I know so much more already from my experience that I just stopped, and I traveled to Thailand that time, and I started to work there just to get more experience, because I felt that's something that is more valuable than just sitting in a university chair. I mean, I'm not against education, of course, but just for myself, I felt like I'm learning so much more from getting that experience, the actual experience working with people, with projects.
yeah, I'm sure, because everything, if you do it in your practical life, like that's how we sees it. Like there are a lot of things that we do when we study, and if we don't practice in our real life, then they are they usually become not very useful. But yeah, because you have been practiced, so that's great. So how do you describe your like design style? I would say, what are the basically services that you provide to your clients?
Well, my style is very simple, minimal, but at the same time, it has a feel of luxury in it, because I love to use natural materials such as marble, wood, natural fabrics such as linen. My designs are mostly quite neutral, because that's what I love. I don't work with very bright colors, at least at the moment. I don't know, my style might change after time. I mean, I don't have to stick to
Yeah.
the same style.
No, I have seen your page, and it gives such a nice vibe. Seeing all those cool colors. I think it's great to enhance all those colors in your living room or in your house. So
yeah, the people that reach out to me, of course, are the people that also like the same kind of style. The people that love colorful interiors probably won't reach out to me, which is fine. Like we found each other.
How do you find working here with clients in Oman, and I'm sure you have worked in other countries as well. So is there any difference you feel here or anywhere else?
It is a little bit different. People here sometimes don't understand why would they pay for design. They prefer doing things themselves, but then once they go into the process, they understand that it's not that simple as it might look, and they might end up buying a lot of things that don't work together, and they reach out to the designer anyway, but then they end up spending double or triple amount of money just because they didn't go to this process from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I'm sure as a person, if I'm going out for shopping, I would just grab things I like. I'm not doing my homework, maybe, because you have been organized, where to put. So it's more like we just grab things, and then we come home, and then we are just looking out for space to put those stuff, and then it's like when they don't fit, we're like, oh, that's not a that's a misfit. So I'm sure there's a lot of work, and there's and it's stressful as well, I'm sure, because then you have to keep on worrying that the clients will like it or not, that how they want it to be, because it's a tough.
Well, usually they always like it. I'm not worried about that. And I always try to be like flexible with my services. For example, if the person is not ready for like a full scale design project, I offer something called interior decoration. That's when someone has a house which is almost done, like they have a flooring, they have ceiling, the walls. So we just basically decorate the space. We can paint the walls, use wallpaper, select I select loose furniture, accessories, like I style and decorate the space, which is much less time consuming and also has a smaller cost. So I'm like always trying to find a way to work with people to help them to make their house more beautiful.
That's good. It's like convenient on their side as well, you know. So what is like the most challenging project that you have ever done, ever worked on?
Well, I wouldn't say I had some really challenging project, but each project has some challenges because at the end of the day, it's a work with people, and each person has a different vision. You have to be flexible. You have to make the client happy. You have to explain them why would they follow your ideas. So it's a communication skill. So I guess that's the most challenging in all the projects is the way to communicate with people and explain your vision to them and let them trust you, because trust is the most important. If the client doesn't trust designer, probably the result wouldn't be so good. The trust is a key in every project.
Definitely. So what is like how do you like define an ideal setup of a living room? Like if I ask you what is an ideal setup according to you?
Well, number one is definitely a comfy couch. That's a must, because it's a place where you chill. You sit with your family, watch movie. Then the second would be probably a nice coffee table, like a good quality statement piece, and of course a TV wall that is not just a TV hanging on the wall, something that makes a difference to the room. So probably these three would be the most important.
That's great. So I really want to ask you, because about the most common blunders, I would say, or mistakes that people do while setting up their interior in the house that you see very often, and you would allow people that.
Yes, I talked about it a lot actually in a lot of my videos. So number one is choosing the wrong area rug size. A lot of people choose rugs that are way too small for the space, and it makes the room look very awkward. Or they choose the rug which is too large, but mostly it's too small rug. The second would be probably hanging the artwork on the wrong height, because there is a certain height of artwork that I'm usually hanging it on. So a lot of people hanging it too high or too low. So that would be the second probably. The third is pushing furniture against the wall. A lot of people have a habit of arranging furniture against the wall, which is not always a good idea. And I would say it's always the best idea to actually center it to the room. Push it from the wall. It would give a much more space to move around, and the space would look much more welcoming. And I guess another one is choosing the paint for the room first, because if you paint the room, you would have to match your furniture, your accessories to the room color, which is very challenging because the choices of paint are unlimited, but the choices of furniture are very limited. So for me, I always start with like main pieces such as like a couch, a table, maybe a chairs, and then I choose the paint after, so that the paint matches the furniture, because it's just much more easier.
Okay, yeah. Because what is there any specific tip that here people living in the apartment life as well, and in the different capacities like villas, apartments. So usually, I would say as an expat, majority of the people are living in an apartment. So usually you don't get a very big space. If you talk about the lounge. And how do you make it look spacious? Like, you don't want to clutter it with a lot of stuff, but you want to make it like, you know, a nice cozy place. So how do you
well, first of all, if the space is big, it must have zones. Okay, so if you just make it all, you know, one complete majlis filled with sofas, it probably won't look nice.
Yeah.
If you need a lot of seating areas, you can at least separate it in two seating areas, for example, with a, you know, a different coffee table, let's say. So planning the space well is the key. And of course, finishing the space with accessories, plants, something that makes it feel complete and you know, welcoming makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's true, because that's a complete challenge, you know, because if you have small space and you want to do a lot with that, and then you are just end up doing maybe all of it, and it looks really, you know, back. So
yeah, it's the key is balance and you know, a well-planned space.
That's true. So I have like these, you know, few, you can say, rapid fire questions for you that I would like you to answer. So what kind of things do you like to design?
Sorry?
What kind of things you like to design? Like, you know, what is the favorite part?
Okay. I think my favorite would be the living room, because that's the space where all family members meet and you kind of have to make everyone happy.
See yourself in next 5 years?
I see myself having exposure in the region, not just in Oman, because I have plans to, you know, reach out to different markets as well. And of course, you know, keep doing beautiful houses and make people happy.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so one weakness and I would say one strength of you as being an interior designer.
My strength is that I am reaching my goals no matter what. If I have a goal, I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to like bring it to the, you know, final destination. My weakness is probably perfectionism. I'm not sure if it's a weakness or not, but so many times I have, you know, the exact picture of a table, let's say, in my mind, and I want to do exact same one, or I want to find exact same cushion, and I'm not always able to do that. So this gives me struggles because I just want.
If we have in mind we are not able to find it, then it's frustrating.
Yes. Yeah, I want everything perfect, and it's not always perfect. So this is a little bit challenging, and I guess I don't know if it's my weakness or strength, but.
So what is the one thing that you like about working with the clients, and what is one thing that you don't like?
Okay. Probably the best part is seeing their happy faces at the end of each project when it's completed. That's, I guess, the best part. And the worst part, I guess, is when sometimes clients are trying to do my work, like, you know, they ask me to design the space, but then they come in and they try to design it themselves, making a lot of changes, basically doing a job for me, and that's when it becomes challenging. It's not like I don't want to listen, you know, to their requirements or their vision. No, it's not like that. But again, there should be a trust, you know. It just feels nice when the client trusts you, the process, and like 99% of time it ends very well and the client is very happy with the result.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, I'm sure, definitely. And this is how it works, because, you know, giving that space to work. So anything specific you would like to say to everyone out there, because I'm sure you have been designing a lot of houses and you have that experience. So anything that you would want people to stop doing while, you know, designing the house or while purchasing the stuff, anything specific?
I would say people should trust the design of their house to designers, because they might feel like it costs a lot, but at the end of the day, designers save you a lot of time. You don't need to scroll through endless websites, you know, don't need to go to the stores. you can just walk into a beautiful house that you wanted. So instead of trying to do it yourself, try to trust this work to a professional, and I'm sure you'd be very happy with the result. But of course, choose your designer wisely. At the end of the day, again, it's a personal connection, it's a friendship, it's a partnership. So just find your designer and trust him or her.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah. So like if anyone would like to approach you, they can approach you through your page and
yes, I have a website which is katekerdi.com. I have my Instagram, Kate Kerdi Interiors, my TikTok. So I'm on all the social media.
I want to say I love your videos, how you create them and how, the colors, because I honestly like the same colors and they look very nice. They blend in so well. And you're doing an amazing job, and I'm sure you will go very far away long. And I wish you all the best with everything that you have planned. And
Thank you so much.
you're most welcome. I'm sure you would be successful, inshallah. So that's really nice talking to you, Kate. I hope you stay in touch and thank you so much for taking out time. I know you're still busy, you're on your own work, but still you got time. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And anything else you would like to say before I just end the podcast?
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was very nice to chat with you.
Same here. Same here. All the best. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.